Hey everyone, it's Jeff. A couple things. This was the episode we recorded 2 weeks ago, so if the news is outdated, that is the reason why. And also, because I am a terrible podcaster, I messed up my audio again and had to use the audio from our Zoom call. So everything on my end sounds very terrible. Yeah. Anyway, here's the show.
Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey everyone, welcome to another week of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff, I drive a 2004 Honda S2000, and I am your man from Southern California, Taiwanese America.
What's Taiwanese America?
Yeah!
Right. What's up everybody, my name's Parth, I drive a 2016 M3 from Northern California, your Indian America representative.
What a weird intro. But yeah, I'm Andrew. Drive a 2014 Evo 10 MR and a 2015 Super BRZ. Residing with Jeffrey in Taiwanese America.
Woohoo!
Also in the Bay Area.
The other
Which is
side of
within
Taiwanese America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taiwanese America is big.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to like where Taiwanese America in the Bay Area would be. Like Millbrae is like the Taiwanese America.
No, you're on the border of Taiwanese America and India America.
Yeah, for real, right in the middle. Yeah, I was about to say I was like in the beginning when you first started saying this, I was like, this is going real smooth.
Yeah, right.
It's perfectly scripted every single time, but it fell apart.
You see, you can't be scripted every single time because then, like, you know what they say what they taught you in school, right? You know, you gotta have a catchy intro. Your introduction paragraph should make your reader or listener like, oh my god.
I'm not sure this was catchy.
Yeah,
It was different. It was different.
This was the one with all the spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes.
It was different. So the 40 people that listen to it, they'll have something different in the beginning at least.
Hey Andrew, I saw you guys went on a little cruise with your Evo friends.
Yeah.
And imposter. One imposter.
One imposter. Yeah, so was it Wednesday? Went on a little drive up to or down to Morgan Hill with a couple Evo guys. Shouts out to Baron at Issa MR. Shouts out to John at Extinct Evo X.
Stinky
and that STI
Evo
guy.
X?
Extinct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All the Barris boys out there got me real jealous, but it's all good.
So these are just guys you met because you bought an Evo?
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so Baron, his Instagram is at IssaMR. I met him. I just followed him on Instagram and he followed me back. And I think he hit me up randomly when I was like installing wheels or something. I don't know. He just hit me up randomly. I was like, oh, cool, whatever. And he helped me out with like making sure my wheels would fit. Like he confirmed that, it wouldn't rub all that shit. We just, let's go for a drive down. And then met him up on last Wednesday, and yeah, it was all good.
What about the other people in the gang?
John at Extinct Evo X, he sold me my replacement rear bumper for a ridiculous steal.
Why can't the F80 community be like this, dude?
Because you guys are rich dick faces.
He's right though. Nobody's right. That's the problem. Because like half the people, actually more than half the people that own the M3, they just own it because like, oh, I know M3s are sick, right? Yeah, I'm gonna buy one too. Yeah, what does it have? I don't know. How do you drive it? I don't know. I just leave it in auto all the time.
Yeah, you really have to know what you're doing to buy an Evo.
You know how you can tell the people that drive M3s but they don't really give a shit is the motherfuckers that have everything stock, and then you can legit see that their wheels have not been cleaned since the day they bought it. And it becomes that fucking like black brown color.
It's like, we have black wheels. Nah, these are silver.
No, it doesn't even become black, dude. It becomes like this weird, like brown, like shit looking. Yeah. Like he ran over like a shit pile. And
maybe he goes on a track day. It's a look, man.
It's a
vibe. Brake dust is style.
It's because too many people know about BMW and M3s. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Everybody fucking buys M3s now.
Yeah, for an Evo, like, to be honest, at this point, you have to be a real car guy to even know what Mitsubishi is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw on one of the Facebook pages that somebody got an Evo, and then I noticed that they're Bay Area, and I was like, this is like, what, 1 of 10 maybe? All right, let me tag Andrew so that he can make a new friend.
I find that crazy, dude. Like, cars are so weird. People bond over a mode of transportation.
And
Yeah.
what's crazy too is those two people that I just met, they met each other already. They knew each other because they met at like Bay Area owner or Evo owners like meets prior. And I brought up like another couple, like another guy that like helped me out on Facebook. I told Baron that, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's my boy. Like he's like the godfather of MRs in the Bay Area." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Everyone
snap.
knows.
Andrew's already up on the ladder. He knows the Godfather.
He knows the Godfather, dude. He went on a drive with the Godfather.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't go on a drive. The guy that I went on a drive with knows the Godfather.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But
So
like
he
everyone, all the MR guys like go to him for help. He has like a 500 or something, like a high horsepower MR, but it looks bone stock.
So is the MR community like its own community within the Evo community?
Yeah, I would say so. Just because we have our own, I don't know, our own troubles that we have to deal with, which is the transmission. Everyone knows the pain, and like it seems like everyone that like owns one is like super anxious about it every time they drive it.
Well, that's the good thing about owning like a well-known car. You know what's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, I know everything that's going to go wrong and how much it's going to cost. It's like kind of sucks.
Hey, it's better than it taking you by surprise.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I hate car troubles, dude.
It's the worst feeling.
Freaking, I have this old MDX, as you all know, and I had to change what's called the exhaust something valve. It prevents too much exhaust or something. Recirculates it back into the engine or something.
Does it have a turbo?
No, it's like a sucky version of a turbo. But I had to replace it, and it's 2 simple bolts. Just 2. That's all it takes.
It's always only 2.
Yeah. So the first one came out just fine. Easy. Second one, stuck. I tried everything. I think at one point I went to Andrew's house and I was like, "Hey, yo, can I borrow some? Do you have some like PBR blaster or something?" We went down to AutoZone, put some PBR blaster on it. Didn't work. Was like, "Yo, guy at AutoZone, can you help? Do you have any tools that can help us out? We could try this." Didn't work. We had these bolt extractor things. Didn't work. At this point, the bolt wasn't a bolt anymore. It was a circle.
Round.
Yeah, it was a completely round circle. And I started working at this dental company where we repair equipment. And we had a bunch of tools there. And I'm like, all right, I'll use some of these tools to fix my car. I got an angle grinder, grinded down the bolt to see if I could, basically remove it by turning it into a flathead. I couldn't. It would start like cracking at the top. And I'm like, dude, what do I do? My boss comes in. He's like this guru of fixing things. And he's like, dude, just like cut a slot in it and turn it out. I'm like, I've been doing that. I can't turn it. And he's like, let me see it. He gets in there, takes the thing, and just rams it really hard, and it turns it, and it comes right out. I'm like, dude, it's been like this for like 2 months, and you got it out first try. I put it in. It was an eBay part. It broke immediately. Took it to the mechanic, and they
Nice.
with a new one.
Nice, dude.
Jesus.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. I hate working on cars, dude. And I'm freaking mechanically. I think you guys are more mechanically privileged than I am. I'm definitely mechanically challenged, dude. Holy shit. First of all, I have a problem with like never being able to choose the right tool for the job that I need to do. Mm-hmm. And then second of all, I have a tendency to overestimate the actual ability of myself to do anything on a car.
Dude, it always looks simple, but then you realize it's always space, like clearance-wise, and then freaking getting bolts out.
So
Yeah.
when I got spacers for my car, I got the spacers, and I'm like, oh, this was easy, right? All you gotta do is pop the wheels
Spacers.
off. Yeah, spacers are easy as shit, right? So I got this like surge of confidence, and then when I got my my lowering springs, I was like, all right, let me see. This is actually a very well made video on YouTube about how to install lowering springs on your F80 M3. Literally exactly how to do it, right? Watched it a bunch of times, knew what I had to do, and then I was like, yeah, I could do this. This is easy. I go to Prub's house because he's my neighbor, and I was like, yo, we're gonna do this on my car. He's like, yo, bro, you sure? I'm like, yeah, dude, we'll do it. He's like, every single time we do anything, not just on your car, but my car, we always think it's easy, and we always spend double to triple the amount of time we thought it will take. And then, not only that, we always overestimate how easy it is. I'm like, no, bro, look at what I showed him the video, made him watch the whole thing. He's like, yeah, bro, actually, it doesn't look that bad. So we're like, all right. So go over to how we bring the jack stands, jack up the car and everything, and we're like, all right, let's start with like the left rear side, right? Bro, we got the wheel off. It took about 3 hours to detach the suspension from the car. This spring had a special like cup on top, so that if people wanted to, because the way the spaces on this one works is, it'll keep the rear ride height the same, but it'll lower the front. So in order to do that, they have like a little like spacer on the freaking spring that you have to put on. Could not figure out for the life of us how the hell that spacer sits on the spring and then fits into the assembly. Spent like another 3 hours trying to figure that out. It became 11 o'clock at night. We started this probably at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Oh my god.
We're at one disassembled portion of the left rear side of the car. Haven't even touched the other sides yet, and we have no idea what we're doing. We're like really upset. We start like arguing with each other. That's how you know we're that upset, because you know he's getting pissed at me, I'm getting pissed at him, and then my dad comes out and says, "You're a bunch of idiots," so I'm getting pissed at him. So finally, my dad's like, "Yo, I already told you guys that you guys are mechanically challenged. Just have somebody else do it, right?" And then we're like, "Yeah, dude, it's 11 o'clock at night." So we somehow put the freaking suspension back in, put the wheel back on, brought the car back down. I hit up my friend. He's a friend of ours, but he's a lot more mechanically inclined than us. He has like a bunch of nice equipment and stuff. I'm like, "Yo, bro, can you do this for me?" He's like, "Yeah, man, no problem." I'm like, "How much do you want?" He's like, "Yo, just give me like $200. I'm like, $200? That's a deal. Bet, fine, all right. Go to his place. He's also like, "Yeah, dude, this is a pretty easy. It looks pretty straightforward. I'll have this done." He messages me at 9 o'clock. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm still not done with your car." I'm like, "You started this at 12. He's like, "Bro, if I knew how difficult this was, I would have done your car." I'm like, "Shit, man." He finally got it done at like 10 o'clock at night, and he's like, "Yeah, what I learned after doing all this is I will never install lowering springs on an F80 M3 ever again." He's like, I'll do it on any other car except for my car, or except for that car." So
Sounds
I was
like the classic story of working on a German car.
Jesus,
Yeah,
dude. And then after that, I kind of realized that there's literally no point of doing anything on this car for yourself except for the oil change.
I put coils on my BRZ in 4 hours.
Yeah. That's how
And
it's
that was
supposed
long.
to be.
That was a long time.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we put lowering springs on your BRZ?
Yeah.
I remember it going dark when we did that.
It
Yeah.
always goes dark, dude. It always fucking goes dark.
But that was
man.
like the first time we ever messed with like suspension.
Yeah, we were like freaking out about the freaking top cap like blasting off. So we
Yeah.
went to AutoZone to see if they rented out any
Spring compressors.
spring
and shit.
compressors. Yeah,
I pretty much everything, I think, at this point. Besides mounting tires, I think I've done everything myself to my cars, and most of it goes pretty straightforward. Like 90% of the way, it's just like there's always that one bolt or like something
yep.
that like drags it on an extra 2 hours.
It's just always one thing.
Yeah, dude.
Always, dude. Seriously. Because I don't work. Sorry, I'm just saying I don't work on my car nearly as much as you guys. I barely do anything to my car myself anyway, because German and because it freaking challenged mechanically.
Yeah.
But I do help my friend with his WRX all the time with random shit.
So much easier.
It's so much easier. But at the same time, it's always like, "Hey, yo, bro, come over to my house. It'll take like 2 hours." I fucking 5 hours later, "Yo, bro, what the fuck are we doing?"
Always. Always. I remember my 4th year of college on my BRZ, I was running my my stock front pipe with a cat on it, and I was like, "This is boring. I want to put my catless back on." And at this point, we had taken it off and put it back on like 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah.
I was just pretty indecisive. But anyway, I was like, this will be real quick. Like 30 minutes, I'll pop it off, put a new one back on. There's 5 bolts. I get to the last bolt and it's stuck, right? So I'm like cranking it, get a little like breaker bar and add it to the top. And I push real hard, boom, snaps the stud in half.
Oh, shit.
No!
Jeffrey, remember we had lost a bolt and we went to like Home Depot or something and like bought just a regular bolt and put it on?
Yeah, because
shit.
because the preview.
Oh,
to
because
the
it's
story,
rounded.
Yeah, was that we were doing the same thing. We were taking off the front pipe and putting on the stock one, I think. We got most of the bolts out, except the last one. And the last one got really stuck. And by the time we had it off, it was smooth. And the only reason why we got it off, we tried everything. We like impacted it, we set fire to it.
Yeah, we torched it.
Yeah. And finally we go to AutoZone and we're like, dude, because we had been there earlier the day to buy more tools. And we straight up went to the guy and was like, do you have anything that gets stuck bolts out? And he's like, oh yeah, we got just the thing. And it was these like kind of like socket heads with like these spikes in them, kind of almost.
Yeah.
And they're like this bolt extractor thing. Put it on. Andrew does one like turn, not even hard, and it comes straight off. It was like a good 2 hours of us just trying to get that bolt off.
There's a video of this on your old channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bolt ended up getting destroyed. So I went to Home Depot and just bought like a regular bolt. In hindsight, that was probably the wrong move. It probably wasn't like a, I don't know, whatever it is, like galvanized or whatever the hell they use for auto parts. But that bolt that we used had actually welded itself to the flange on the front pipe.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it
God.
broke the stud off. And then that, I was just like, okay, what the fuck? I actually ended up I knew another guy with an FRS in Slow, and he worked at a shop. Took it to him, and he had to like drill out the rest of the stud that was still in there, and then just use like a normal like little nut and bolt thing and tied it together. But it's still like that now. I can't like remove it ever, I don't think. So if anyone knows some smog-friendly smog shops in the Bay Area, hit me up.
I got one for you, Andrew. I got one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because that's just coming up.
Oh, God. Have you ever lost a bolt or anything in the engine bay?
Yes. I've dropped like 2 bolts in the Evo engine bay now.
Oh,
I managed to get it out, but
Yeah, there is still,
was
when I
scary.
was working on the MDX, there is still a wrench stuck in my car.
Is there actually a full wrench?
Yes.
A wrench.
Yes. It's between like the fuse box or something. It's kind of like in that crevice within the fender and the rest
Take
of
it
the car.
off-roading, shake it out.
can you see it?
No, I can't. It's
my
definitely
God.
still in there. And I tried. I went on the road and just like swerved around to see if it would like clink, clink, clink out. But nope. Still
Well,
right
at
in
least you
there.
know it's stuck. It's
Yeah.
not gonna like get, I don't know, stuck on a pulley or something.
Whenever that car dies and you guys have to like get rid of it or whatever, just make sure you get that wrench back.
It's probably 10 mil.
Of course, yeah.
There was that one time we were working on Prob's car. Literally, he was like, yo, dude, the thing we're going to be working on today is going to be really, like, near the bottom. It's going to be right above the pan, you know, on the engine. There's, like, a metal pan shit. So he's like, if you drop the bolt, it's not gonna come down because it's going to get stuck on that pan. I was like, okay. So I'm being careful as shit helping him out with this thing. And then we're done and everything's done. We're putting like literally the last fucking bolt on, and he's doing it. He's down there. He's screwing it, and then you hear ding. And he's like, "Fuck!" I'm like, "No way." He's like, "Bro, I just lost a bolt." I'm like, "Can you see it?" He's like, "Dude, I don't see it." I'm like, "You were the one telling me, motherfucker, not to drop a bolt. What did you go and do? Drop the damn bolt." So we're in there. Then we were trying to find it, trying to reach for it. We couldn't find it. And then I'm like, all right, let's go underneath. We jacked his car back up because you can kind of reach around the side to where, you know, that metal plate is. And we were trying to reach it. So finally, we were able to see it from the top at a weird angle with a flashlight and shit. And we're trying like everything to get this thing out. We're trying to reach for it, trying to like small ass shit. His dad comes out and he goes, "What the hell are you idiots doing?" And we're like, both our dads always say this shit to us. That's whenever we're working on our cars, like some shit's about to go wrong. Because dad comes in, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, "Yo, Prub dropped a bolt in the fucking car." He's like, "Use the magnet." And Prob's like, "We have a magnet?" He's like, "What do you mean we have a magnet? What do you think we have all these tools for?" And he's like, "Let me do it. You guys are useless." Ghost comes back with his long, you know, the magnet. It's actually for retrieving bolts from engine bays, right? He comes back with his magnet thing, sticks it in there. 2 seconds later, boop. He's like, "Here's your bolt." We're like, we were literally like, we jacked up the car. We did this shit fucking 2 hours.
You guys are useless.
Seriously useless, dude. He didn't even know we had the metal, the magnet shit. I was like,
dude,
yeah.
Speaking of that magnet shit, I don't have one of those, but I dropped something in the Evo, and it was like up against the firewall, like deep in there. Like I couldn't even stick my hand in there. I didn't have the magnet, so I got a ratchet extension. I wrapped the front end with Gorilla
That's
Tape
what I
with
do, dude.
Yeah, and I just like crammed it on there and like pulled it out. Works amazing.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to get bolts out. I tried doing that to the wrench, but it didn't work. I've come to accept that working on cars, like we have the video on the YouTube channel of me putting in the engine mount. I knew I was going to get it in, but I knew also that I would be cursing at it for a long time.
There's a lot of swearing involved. There's a lot of misjudgment of time involved.
Yeah, I was like, there was no worry that I was going to get it in, but I just accepted the fact that being angry at it and being really pissed was part of the job.
Yeah, and then we say,
always.
oh, we enjoy it. Do we really?
I love it, man. I was gonna say, like, despite like most of the time it being really shitty, I love doing it. Like, if there's something that I know I can, like, if I get a part or something, I'm 80% confident I can put it in. I'm gonna go for it.
And you guys gotta go watch these videos we had put out during quarantine, because we show you the real stuff. Okay? A lot of YouTubers will like walk through the steps with you, make it look super easy.
And those guys are the ones that need to go to hell, dude. Holy shit! Like, are you telling me, like, the guys that made the freaking F80, you know, the lowering spring install video, made it look like the easiest shit ever, and that if you can't get it done, you're a special child. Like,
they're liars.
It's freaking lie. I had a guy who's really good at this shit do it, and he was like, I'm never putting lowering springs on an F80 M3 ever again.
Yeah, it's either those guys are faking it, or those guys have been working on cars for a long time.
Yeah, which is
or they have the right
cheat
tools.
codes. I given up working on this car myself. This just, these Germans are just fucking. They don't make anything easy, dude.
I would never.
I'm pretty sure the oil change is also complicated too, like relatively. Because for now, I've been getting the free shit from BMW dealership because of warranty, but I got my last service done just this month, so coming soon, we're going to have to learn how to do it our goddamn selves, and I bet you it's not going to be as easy as any other car.
No, dude, you have to get a proprietary lock and key for your oil filter.
Probably.
And your oil cap.
And my oil cap, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of German cars, we have a video out on the YouTube channel of Andrew and his buddy working on a Mini Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of German cars, we have a video of them working on a Mini Cooper. Very good, Jeffrey. Nice.
Yeah,
That was fantastic.
BMW makes Mini Coopers.
It's owned by BMW. They're still British.
But it's most of the freaking
So it's a
parts
German
are German
car. It's a German car with a British racing green and a British flag on the top. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
Okay.
it's like the Toyota Supra. But that thing has plastic jack mounting things.
They like jack points
I have the same ones, actually. When I was watching your video, I
on
have
the M3.
it's the same points.
Get
The same.
the fuck out of here.
Dude,
Same
what
exact
the
ones. You
heck?
need and the funny thing is, if you don't use a block of wood, you actually need to buy a specific jack mount that goes.
Yeah,
on
the
your
one
jack.
with the flat tops, right?
Yeah.
It's so sketch.
Yeah.
It's not even a standard fucking jack point.
So like we used my jack stands that I used on like every car I
It's so
like,
sketch.
ever worked on.
It's so sketch.
Put it on and I guess like it wasn't perfectly centered over it. So when we were lifting the other side, the jack actually slipped and like went into
Holy
the
crap, dude.
the jack point.
Yeah.
And like we saw the car just like I saw it just go. Zoop. I was like, okay, drop it down.
Yeah, those points are hella sketch, dude. Like it literally
fuck
just sits in. It just sits on like 2 points.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's barely on there.
Yeah, it's barely on there. It's so bad.
Fucking
dude.
stupid. And they cover the pinch weld that
Yeah.
most people
Yeah.
jack it up on. But yeah, for that video, that was like one of the smoothest installs I've ever done. And it was
There
on a
still
European
involves some anger, though. If you
Yeah,
guys
a little
go-
I mean, there's always anger. If
Yeah.
you're not,
Part of
there's
the
no
process.
anger, if there's actually the easiest thing we ever did, and I was actually gonna record this because Prabhu's like, "Yo, can you come to my house and help me out with this thing? It'll take 20 minutes." First of all, he said 20 minutes right there. I was like, "All right, that's an hour. That's probably a good amount." Like, I was like, "All right, I'll help you if you let me record this shit. You know, I'll provide some fucking content, right?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Bro, all we're doing is changing out my MAF sensor to air density sensor." I'm like, "Bro, don't worry, it's content." He's like, "Dude, I think it'll be pretty boring." I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll make it interesting, right?" So I go to his house and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, we're starting to record and shit." And then he's like, I'm like, "What are we doing?" He's like, "Literally that sensor on top of the intake manifold, one 10mm bolt, take out, put in the other one, 10mm bolt back in." I'm like, "That's it." He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." I'm like, "Why'd you tell me 20 minutes?" He's like, "Why?" Like, "Cause this is like fucking 5 minutes." He's like, he's like, well, I always, whenever I tell you something, I always underestimate it. So this time I thought I'll overestimate it just in case. It was literally 5 minutes. It was drick, drick, doop, boop, drick, drick. I was like, that's fucking it.
Why do you need your help?
Because he has a problem where he can never get the, you know how they have the male and female plugs for certain things? He can fucking never for the life of him pull those out. He can never get the right. So he always has me do it. So all I had to do was push the thing down, pull it out, just so he could take the thing out and plug it back in.
Yeah.
It was literally it was literally 5 minutes, and I'm like, why'd you tell me 20? I'm like, you got me all excited. I'm like, this is no content. Like, we'll get made fun of for putting this shit up.
Working on cars. Well, with that being said, should we go to our break?
Yeah.
All right, welcome to our break. We have a giveaway going on.
Yes,
We
sir.
do.
Yeah, why don't
No
you
one's
tell
entered
them?
yet.
Yeah. No, actually, there's one comment on that video.
Is there?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
Oh.
Loved it.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you. We appreciate you. Yeah.
That looked like a bot, though.
Yeah, like seriously, it's like freaking. We get so many bots on our channel.
Whatever.
I love seeing like, we loved it, great video, 0 views. I'm like, great, good.
But anyway, yeah, the giveaway. So we're giving away a $100 gift card or a $100 gas card when we reach 100 subscribers and 100 followers on our Instagram. So how you enter is comment on the last video.
Yeah, if you're listening to this via audio, it's going to be the Curbside podcast, the episode 33 video on YouTube.
Yeah. So leave
It says
a comment
100
there.
sub giveaway.
Yeah,
So
should be easy to find. Leave a comment there. Let us know what your favorite dream car of all time is. And then follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our channel, and you will be entered.
And no bullshit dream cars like Priuses, please. Okay. I know. There's some motherfuckers. I know there's a friend of mine who definitely tried to say Prius to trigger.
Hey, if that's their dream car, man.
hey man, yeah, don't judge.
Get some new dreams.
And yeah, if you want to enter, you should be 18 years or older. Don't know why you're not if you're listening to our podcast.
I swear a lot. You should not be listening to me for less than 18.
And yeah, you should be in the U.S. because just I don't know how to ship money through borders. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
complicated. So yeah.
yeah. And as always, you can find us at thecurbsidepodcast.com where you find the links to all our stuff.
Yeah, and you can also email us thecurbsidepodcast@gmail.com for whatever. If you want to send us an email, say what's up.
You can find us on social media at Instagram at the Curbside Podcast. That's where you'll be DMing us with proof that you subscribed. Hopefully you're also followed. You can also find us on Twitter at Curbside Pod, and on Facebook, just look up the Curbside Podcast.
Woohoo! All right, let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Now that we got you loose, I can hear the birds
All right.
waking early to say
The news.
I got one that's kind of been taking over the automotive internet world. Not a lot has been going on, but a new tease from Nissan. I think this one's kind of been anticipated for a while, but finally released a sneak peek at the 2021 Nissan 400Z. It seems like they're overhauling their entire lineup with a main focus on the new 400Z. Just based on the silhouette of it, I think I'm going to really like it a lot. The styling kind of takes cues from the old 240s, it's like a retro design kind of.
Yeah, it looks a lot like less beefy than the 350.
Yeah, it looks way more sleek. The whole front end kind of reminds me of like the new Astons for some reason.
I was literally gonna say that, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like the Vantage, like the headlights.
I think that's what like Nissan really needs because all of their cars are just like so long in the tooth.
And let's be honest, the last Z's like they look kind of dog shit. I mean, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
370 was, I think it was new, but it was like nothing special.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just like a facelifted 350. Cool.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like, and like definitely compared to like go back to the original 240Z, and it just seemed like two completely different philosophies.
Yeah, I really like they're doing like the really long nose with like emphasis, like everything is like kind of shifted towards the back, just like the old 240s. I think it's going to look pretty good, and a couple technical specs on it. They're speculating that it's going to have the same twin turbo V6 as the Q60 Coupe from Infiniti, which would be insane. I guess it's just to keep up with like the Supras and I don't know, the Corvette. I guess I feel like the Corvette's kind of in its own different league, but estimating to start around 45,000. I imagine there will be a dealer markup, and
God damn those people, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of expensive though. 45,000.
Was it that much? Well, yeah, was it that much originally?
I don't think so.
Right? I remember it being more affordable than that.
Yeah, and that's starting. Just think about they're gonna do like touring models. You can spec it out, and they're gonna do a Nismo model for sure.
Yeah, that's not the sort of price range that I've expected the Z to be at.
Yeah.
For me, it's usually like kind of like that place where the S2000 sort of used to stand, like 35 grand ish. But that seems pricey.
Yeah, but with a twin turbo V6, maybe it's justified.
That's true. Twin turbo V6, dang, that's a huge engine.
It's supposed to make 400, right?
I think that's the idea.
It says we'll get the 300 horsepower. What?
565 horsepower, 3.8 hood of the G. Oh, okay. 300. What?
What?
I'm so
confused by this article. Okay, let's read it. But instead of the fire-breathing 565 horsepower, 3.8 liter that's under the hood of the GTR, the 400Z will likely get the 300 horsepower 3-liter mill from Infiniti Q60.
Why the fuck are they calling it the 400Z?
It's possible that high-performance Nismo variant could get the 400 horsepower version of the engine.
So the Nismo is the only real 400Z then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least they're not pulling a McLaren and going to go like, 300Z, 350, 350Z, and like...
Yeah, and go back down to 300Z.
Yeah. See, at least one of them makes sense.
I'd be okay with a 300 if they said that BMW is giving them the engines, because it's a blatant lie, so then that would be like 500 horsepower.
Yeah, and also depends how beefy the car is, which it looks lighter.
Yeah, it looks a lot sleeker, all that.
What's a second speed automatic?
I don't know.
What the fuck is a second speed auto? It is 2 speeds? What the hell is this? Yo, dude, whoever wrote this article is jank.
If you guys are listening to this on the audio version, we're looking at a article on Car and Driver called, what's this called? 2021 Nissan 400Z, what we know so far.
And it says it could come with a second speed transmission, which Lord knows what the hell a second speed transmission is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this. It's been like how long since they've released a new Z? I feel like 10 years.
As long as the GTR.
Oh yeah, like older than the. Oh no. Wait.
Yeah. 370s have been out for a long time, and Nissan hasn't revamped their lineup in a long time. So this could be a nice, refreshing look for Nissan.
Yeah, bring back the Z, bring back the Silvia, bring back the new GTR.
Yeah.
I want to jump into a little bit of update news on something we covered last week. The Acura TLX officially came out.
Dude, it looks sick.
It does.
No matter what anyone says, it looks better than the new M3 that's going to come out.
Did it live up to all your expectations?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so it looks like the Type S is going to be a single twin-scroll V6 turbo. So it's probably going to be more of a M340i competitor than an M3 competitor.
Shit.
Yeah. But they haven't released power numbers on that. But they think it's going to be around like 400 horsepower.
Ooh, Jesus.
And,
from a single scroll? Wow. Or sorry,
and
a single
drive.
turbo.
Yeah. And it has a super handily all-wheel drive. I love this Tiger Eye Pearl they have. But the thing that stood out to me about this, okay, where they were talking about design, was this thing has one very big butt.
Yeah, it has that M3 booty, the F80 M3
No, so here's the thing. In this range, like the 3 Series A4 type deal, the cars are usually in the back around 73 inches wide. That's what the old TLX was at. This guy is sitting at 75.2 inches wide.
Holy.
That's as wide as in Audi A7, which is 75.1 inches. So it has a big fat butt.
I like that. I like the diffuser too.
Oh,
Yeah, everything looks really nice on it. That is the biggest Honda, like that's the biggest stock badge I've ever seen on the back of anything.
That's huge. So Acura's been going through this brand reimagining type deal. They've been upping their interior quality as well. They've been putting in like real metal, better leather, real wood, and it's all shouts. I think it's all shouts out to this guy here, John Ikeda. He used to be the head designer of Acura back during their boring period.
Mhm.
And during that time when they first designed that ILX, he was talking to Temple of VTech, this big like Honda forum online, and he was saying like, you know, what we really want to design is a real Integra, but you know, management says otherwise. But now he's management. He is now the new president of Acura, and he's been making some big changes over there. He's brought the company back to that performance sort of
Nice.
Good
beginnings.
job, John. You did it. Now come out with a Type R version.
Right? The Type R TLX.
That would be an M3 competitor. That
Yeah.
I would consider. Because he's got a good thing going with this one. And if he can make a car that competes with an M3, I'm down. Just don't Lexus freaking RCF it. There's a Lamborghini for sale.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, next story. Is that it?
That's it. Except this freaking Lamborghini has 188,000 miles on it.
What the heck?
Yeah.
188,000 mile Lamborghini Huracan for sale for 130. I think it's a little expensive. It's sale for $130,000.
For 188,000 miles.
They have the audacity to charge that much.
Right?
For,
So it's being sold by the owner of Royalty Exotic Cars in Las Vegas, and the owner of Royalty Exotic Cars in Las Vegas says that this car was also used as a 4-hour or 24-hour rental, and it has probably been driven by approximately 1,900 people
So all more reasons I don't want to buy this Huracan.
for $130,000.
What the heck?
And then the guy says he's been getting offers for around $100K. I wonder why.
Yeah, huh.
Would you guys buy this, like a car like this? Let's forget about the 1,900 people, but imagine some guy did manage about 200,000 miles on his Huracan in 4 years.
I'd buy it for a good price.
$80K.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd take it.
80, I would do it, but it would have to be like a single or like
Single owner.
yeah.
Yeah.
People that rent Lamborghinis, dude.
They're not good.
Just think
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
They're
How could he be
special
charging
people.
$130K for it?
Yeah, I feel like he should be like, that's a criminal charge.
And in Vegas, dude. People
Yeah.
are probably roasting this thing down the strip.
This
I
guy's
love
probably-
this. On this Car and Driver article about this, it says it's listed on the eBay with the claim of highest mile Huracan in the world, as if
yeah.
that's a
Like,
freaking
whoa,
advertisement.
I want the highest mileage Huracan in the world. Yes, that's what I want. That's what makes values go up later on in life.
Yeah.
Driven by 2,000 people, I'd love to be 2001.
Yeah. Imagine the Carfax on this.
So can we do a hop on eBay to see how much a Huracan normally costs you?
Oh, it's like around anywhere from 150 to like 200K plus.
So
Actually, it's not
This is
150.
hardly
It's
a
like
discount.
180.
for
Yeah.
$20,000 less, you could. Or for
I'd say
50,000
180.
Okay, fine. $50,000 less.
You
How
can
many
get
more?
you can get a Lamborghini Huracan with 187,000 more miles.
Good. Great.
Because
Okay.
you could probably buy like a very low mileage Huracan for like 240, 230 maybe.
Whoever
Especially-
buys this, please look at the service records in extreme detail.
Yeah. And don't buy it for 130.
Yeah,
Offer
and don't,
80.
who would buy this though? Like why? Because the guy that can afford 130 can probably afford a little bit more, and
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah.
get a car with like 30,000 miles on it, which is usually high mileage. I don't ever see this car being sold. Like I would even sell this car if I was this guy.
Yeah, just keep
Why-
renting it.
Yeah, just keep renting. You probably make more money off of doing that.
Right?
Yeah. All right, so I got one more piece of news that I found pretty interesting. Aston Martin is building more DB5s with the same spec that was in the James Bond movies.
I was just looking at this is the Auto Week article, and in the subtitle it says, and yes, the rear smoke screen and simulated oil slick delivery system come standard.
Is that
Dude,
legal?
that's sick.
But is that legal?
It's probably simulated, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
simulated. Okay.
But there's actually a lot more than that. So I think it's super limited. Obviously, they're only building 25 of them. So they're using traditional techniques that they would have used back when they were building this thing in the 60s.
Wow, that's crazy.
You can see the picture of this guy like hand shaping body panels and stuff like that. But here's a list of the special specs that will come with the car.
I want
You
that
have your rear
revolving
smoke
number
screen.
plates. That's sick.
Exactly. Rear smokescreen delivery system, the simulated oil slick, the revolving number plates, which I think is like the most epic one. Simulated twin front machine guns.
Yes.
Bullet resistant rear shield.
Actually,
That-
bullet resistant?
Probably.
What the fuck?
Battering rams, front and rear. A simulated tire slasher. And
Wait,
removable.
No way.
Battering rams. That you see?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at smokescreen and battering rams, and they don't say simulated.
I didn't read through all of it, but I'm questioning the legality of this car.
You drive by a police officer like 150 miles an hour, and you're like,
Bust your
shit.
machine guns.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Smoke screen.
can you imagine if some guy cuts you off while you're driving this thing, and then he
Simulated
sees in
machine
his
guns.
he sees in his rear view mirror just 2 machine guns.
Yeah. And then like you bust out your smoke screen, you change your plate real quick and like, wait, what the this is your car?
And in case he has a gun and wants to shoot you, you're protected.
Yeah, exactly. But the options go into the interior as well, as a simulated radar screen tracker map, telephone in the driver's door, gear knob actuator button, armrest,
Nice. Nice.
Cool.
underseat weapons and storage tray, and remote control for gadget activation. This will be really cool. Completely hand built.
Aston does these things that to like stay relevant that work.
Yeah, and this will just be like, I don't know, like the Back to the Future DeLoreans, but like actually made by, manufacturer.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. The detail is going to be insane.
How much will it cost?
3.4 million.
To be honest, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
You could get this or an F40. I want this.
True. True. F40
Yeah,
don't
for
have
like
machine guns.
F40 don't got smoke screens and like
Yeah.
changing license plates. This will go up in
See.
value.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, so better investment than F40.
In sort of other news, we've talked about this car before. It's the new car Gordon Murray is designing, the T.50, I guess. Gordon
Or
Murray,
is
of
it-
course,
Is
the
it .50 or is it just T50?
maybe that. That sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But of course, Gordon Murray, the designer of the F1. But the weight has come out of this car. It's going to weigh 2,150 pounds. That's lighter than a Miata, I think.
Is it lighter than the Koenigsegg 1-to-1 or whatever?
I don't know about that. But this thing's got a V12 engine, and it's going to be lighter than a Miata.
That's crazy.
650 horsepower,
2160.
4-liter V12. I love that they have a 4-liter V12 and no other bullshit in it. Is there anything else in it?
Well, it's got 600. It's got the 650 horsepower 4-liter V12. It's got a big fan on the back.
It's a Cosworth motor too.
Yeah.
It's an F1 motor in there.
So this is an F1 car for the street.
So the engine's supposed to weigh less than 180 kilograms.
It's like 300 something pounds.
Jeez. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then Gordon Murray, okay, he claims that this is better than the McLaren F1 he designed.
I mean,
Wow.
it should be if it's your second one,
Right?
right?
I hope so. I'm like, I designed the worst car.
Then my first car, which was almost 30 years ago.
I wonder if this one will go up in value as much as the other one did.
It doesn't have the McLaren
F1.
name.
It does not, I
Uh,
think.
No. These days, you gotta have that brand name on it. Yeah.
That's crazy though. I was reading online that the V12 revs up to 12,000.
Yeah, it's
That's a
motorcycle
full-
speeds, dude.
Dude, that's gonna
Yeah.
sound like an old school
That's-
Formula One car.
Straight up F1 car for the road.
Yeah.
Old school one, not this new age fucking 6 cylinders with turbos.
When is it supposed to come out?
So it looks like customers will be getting them starting January 2022. And they will build their first prototype in September of probably
shit.
this year. And it will cost around $2.5 million.
Holy. Okay, I'll go. I take it back. It goes up in value. Buy this. It's an
Yeah.
investment.
There's going to be a 100 car run, I think. And buyers need to put down a deposit of $738,000.
Wow.
Sell
Is
your
it
house.
refundable? is that a refundable deposit?
Partial to give you like $3 back.
Imagine putting down a deposit on something that's like pretty much like a house, and then
fuck?
COVID hits and like you like lose your money, and then you're like, I just lost a house worth of money because of a deposit.
That's pocket change to whoever buying this.
That's also true.
So save up, guys. With that being said,
Save up. Sound financial advice. If you want to make money off of cars in the next 10 years, you got to buy that new Aston Martin and you got to buy this new Cosworth powered car.
So in between now and January 2022, save up the 735,000 now, and then have the 2.5 million by January 2022.
Yeah, but the good thing is, by the time next year, you'll probably double it.
There we go.
Consumer advice on the Curbside Podcast. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the worst. The freaking consumer advice given to me. Yeah, buy the Evo. Get furloughed a week later. Spend all my freaking unemployment money on this fucking thing.
Hey, Andrew, you need some wheels on this. Nah, bro, I'm away.
Yes, you're right.
Fucking 1 month later, yo, I got wheels.
Damn the Curbside Podcast.
Because of us, you're living your best life.
Exactly. Now you have your dreams completed.
Yeah. Also, if you go into financial troubles because you actually listen to our advice about buying the DB5 or the fancy V12 car, we're not responsible.
You make your own
that's your fault.
decisions, guys. And with that being said, that will be our show for this week. As always, you can find us at thecurbsidepodcast.com, where there are links to all our things, like Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff.
And again, you can find us on social media at the Curbside Podcast and Twitter at Curbside Pod. Also Facebook. I think you already said YouTube. All that shit. Just look us up. Enter the giveaway.
Yeah, enter the giveaway. Get some free money. Also, thank you to Kid Dope for the intro and outro to our show, Fast Cars and Wild Hearts. And just keep watching our show. There's some we'll make shit interesting soon, hopefully.
Hopefully. And with that being said, my name is Jeff.
I'm Parth.
I'm Andrew.
Remember, drive safe, and life is too short to drive boring cars.
See ya.
Fast cars